Hey, how's it going? It's Josh here, and I guess I got a video. I mean, it's a video, and we got some new content, sort of. We got a new weapon here, which is the Black Blade. Kind of looks like that one sword from Final Fantasy, that big ass sword, but then they just decided to cut it in half where it broke, and then just like, oh well, we'll just fix it right here, and you know, it's good. It's a good. So, anyways, all right. So first off, I'm just gonna tell you that this weapon, I only had it like epic rolled. I didn't get it all the way to God rolled because I did have enough, barely. I actually had to do 2 builds out of this, 2 separate hero builds. I mean, hero loadouts. Just because trial and error. There's something in particular about this weapon that has the 5th perk, which is there's a few other weapons and heroes that have this perk, which is basically when your life is low, you get to do more damage. And I haven't really quite created a build, or at the moment in time, I didn't have a build that structured around that. So it took me a couple of tries. Literally, it took me 2 tries to make a hero build, and I think I kind of made one. So if that being the case, let me just go ahead and go to the animation of the sword. So, I know I did say I was going to go ahead and do the animation, but actually before that, let me just go ahead and go real quick with the hero loadout. This is the hero loadout that I actually ended up doing, which is Swordmaster Ken. His hero abilities are Smoke Bomb, Throwing Stars, Dragon Slash, and during the Shadow Stance, increasing the sword damage by 75%. So that's actually going to tack on to whatever extra damage is going to add on to, supposedly, to the sword and its effects when your health is down. Now, what I'm considered about is basically shield generation. As long as my shield is fully high, doesn't really matter how low my health is, as long as that shield's up, I'm good. So that's the thing that I had to keep in mind when I was making this hero build. So for the first part that I needed, well, is the Dinmok. Actually, I picked the Dinmok last because this was just kind of like, just like an afterthought. Not about keeping the shield up, but whether if I was going to use this or if I was going to try to tack on more damage. And I just chose to have shield priority over the amount of damage that I'm adding on. Not the amount of damage that I'm doing, but the amount of damage I'm adding on. So for the first hero, I went ahead and got Sea Fog, which he restores the shield to full health. And this actually comes in handy. It's what's it called? It has like I think it has like a 20-second delay after activating. It might be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, I'm not too sure. I'll check right now in the animation. And then after that, I concentrate on abilities for the most part, which is the Wings of Dragon, which is also the Scorcher, and Return of the Dragon, which basically lets me use the Dragon Slash a little bit more often than I'd like to. And for damage, I went ahead and put during the Shadow Stance, basically when you're all in the shadow, you deal base 6 damage extra to enemies nearby, and Corrosive Strike, which does melee, critical, snare, and affliction. Basically, it's to keep them stagnant and everything else, because if you're used to just not having any of this type of things, when you're just using a regular melee you get beaten, like you get beaten to a pulp. So yeah, I just put that in mind, and of course I just put turrets and adrenaline rush. Alright, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you the amount of damage that the sword does before with just full health, and I just ran through it, and it does about 24,000 base damage, which is just without any effects or whatever. And then with crit damage, it does 64 damage, and that's without the 5th perk up. So for right now, this is just basically just kind of what it is at its base form. We're just gonna call it its base form, like its base form Goku before it goes Super Saiyan. But really, it's not Super Saiyan. I would probably say it's more like what? Kaioken? Yeah, Kaioken, because Kaioken does damage to the body while it's doing damage to your opponent. So yeah, it's more like a Kaioken, if you want to think of it in that term. Alright. So the cool thing about this is that, yeah, I think the smoke bomb is 20 seconds. I'm gonna have to double check that animation real quick. Alright, so upon checking the corrected amount of time for that, it was actually 45 seconds. Challenge is now available. But it's actually not that big of a deal for the most part, because like right here, I have full shield even though I was about to die, and for some reason, like an idiot, I went full shield, or I pressed the shield button, but I didn't really mean to. But either way, your base damage, just on the guesstimate of being at least halfway to three-quarters full health, not shield but full health, you can do anywhere between 24 base damage to 6,400 crit damage. And that's just based on about 20 to 50% of your life being gone. Now, if you're thinking about percentages, or if you just don't know percentages, basically, if you got $1, if you're missing a quarter or 50 cents, you're still gonna do that much amount of damage. All right, so that's just simplifying it for you if you don't understand percentages. The heavy attack on this is actually pretty cool, because it actually, what's it called? It gives you like a distance, so if you actually jump, you can actually go ahead and use that as well. I don't have the animation for this, so apparently I tried to look for it where I did it, and I just can't find it, and I don't feel like looking for it. But it's got a nice heavy attack, and there is a perk in there where you can actually decrease the efficiency for the heavy attack. If you like using heavy attacks, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. But if you don't end up using this as a main weapon, or even as a secondary weapon, it can definitely be used as a travel weapon. Basically, when you use a weapon not meant for what it was meant to be used, basically to move around. And yeah, that's pretty much it about this sword. If there's other swords like it, I'm pretty sure there are. There's other melees that have similar effects and things like that. I just can't think of any that come to mind right now. Like I said previously in the video, I repeat, I do not usually run this type of hero loadout. But I think I probably am for right now, at least for the rest of this season. It's probably gonna stay in my what's it called? In my hero loadout, and I'll definitely be using it in the more future. Just because, like, it's pretty interesting. It's a different play style, and I'm gonna actually try to see what other heroes I can do with this. I'll actually try to see if I can actually make more hero builds to this style, and revolve around this type of weapon. So, you let me know what you think of this video. Go ahead and add comments. Like and subscribe if you can. It helps me feed the kids in my basement. And yeah, that'd be great. You guys have a good day or good evening. Take care of each other and take care of yourselves. All right, cheers.